And I think it's a great failing of his presidency. And hopefully, and I'm not sure how much he even believes in it. I think he might be responding perhaps too quickly to bad bureaucratic decision-making, as well as to ideological opposition, which has said, let's go after the leakers. Well, you know, one, these have not been, for the most part, great breaches of national security, as far as I can tell. It's always, presidents always seem to want to claim national security has been endangered at times when it's not. And I'm not at all convinced that it has been in these instances, and particularly in the AP case. And whatever the facts, the idea of sweeping up this, and I think you have to now move not just from the AP case, but to these, what we now know in the last few days about the wholesale swallowing of internet records and phone calls of ordinary citizens. It seems to me very excessive, and I would hope that the president would take a good look at this and say, wait, this is not who we are. There's got to be a better way to fight terrorism. I think that the difference journalistically is that in the case of Deep Throat Mark Felt, he confirmed information we had obtained elsewhere for the most part. Very little information did he and never a document. We never saw a document in the whole time we were doing the reporting. So I think it's very, very different. At the same time, I think that Mark Felt had some institutional concerns about how the government was participating in illegal acts, and as perhaps Mr. Snowden did as well. If there is a parallel, I think it's with individuals who have decided to disclose information despite institutional oaths that they have taken. I think there's been too much attention given to WikiLeaks. I think we need to look very carefully at what WikiLeaks information is. First of all, most of the traffic of the cables that were reproduced are not top echelon cable traffic among the policymakers. Rather, they're ordinary diplomatic cables that are interesting, but not nearly as interesting or as determinate or as important as either WikiLeaks or some of the papers that ran those cables would have you believe. Second of all, I just don't think we've learned that much from WikiLeaks. I think we've learned much more from good reporting than we have from WikiLeaks in the last 5 years. I think that obviously things are changing, and they're changing rapidly, particularly in the English-speaking world, maybe a little faster even than in the Spanish-speaking world in terms of how many people now get their basic information online, but they continue to get a lot of their basic information from the great newspaper institutions, from the New York Times, the Washington Post, the Guardian, ABC, LaVanguardia, etc. And the web is a great reporting platform. If you take this story here, and about the president making this presentation, you could do it with all the documents online that you can't put in here. So you have infinite space. So in many ways, the web is an even better platform for reporting. What seems to me the most important thing is that we maintain the standards of the great journalistic institutions of the past. the repertorial standards, the standards of fairness, of thoroughness, and use them with the new technologies.